Hey guys, so as the title may tell you, today is my second, that looks like an 11, hold on, second Ask Whisper. I actually got some good questions. Now, before I go on to the questions, of course, I have to give the shoutouts. First shoutout goes to my cousin Joanna, and hi Joe, as always. And I hope your injury is healed, or at least I hope it's not getting in the way or being a pain with your job or your school or your daily life. See, what happened was, at a horse show she was in, she got thrown off the horse and she rolled down a hill, and let's just say that hurt a lot. So Joe, hope you're feeling better. And as always, my second shout out goes to Alice from Wizepper149. God, I hope I pronounced that right. In fact, Alice, if I pronounce anything wrong in this shout out, then feel free to notify me in a personal message or in the comments below. Anyway, so she's writing a book called Korra, Book 1, The Eye of Jalis, and it's actually really good. If you want to read it, link will be in the description. This is one that she completely made up on her own. She only has the first chapter and the prologue up, but it's still very good. Now, obviously, I'm gonna tell you. In fact, she provided a description for us. So, let's read it. When the Jalis dragon is awakened and its roar is heard over Korra, the 4 other dragons will reawaken and Korra will perish in the 5 elements. Now it's up to Kayla, Darren, Evan, and Esmeralda to stop the others from awakening the dragons. Will they succeed, or will there be made one fatal mistake that can change the world as they know it? Keep it up, Alice, and I cannot wait to read more. My first question comes from Patrick from Theater for Nothing, and he asks, why do Q's always have a U following it when making a word? And I've actually come up with a simple answer for this one. Whenever you see a word, as you pointed out, whenever you see a word that has a Q in it, it always has a U if it's the beginning letter. And that's because without the U, the Q sound would be short, like Q. With the U, it would be Q. See how it, like, adds emphasis? Like, what's a good Q word? Oh, quiet. Quiet. And I've actually found a word that doesn't have a Q, or doesn't have a U following it, and it's Quaid. And that is a Muslim tribal chief. And I got that by the very resourceful Wikipedia. My second question comes from Darkness Knight 51, and he asks, what is your first video game and console? Now, I don't know if this counts, but does it? Because this was my actually first game system, I guess you could call it. And look at that. It's so old I lost the back to it, so I had to use tape to keep the batteries in. And the first game for this is Pokemon Red. In fact, I even have the initials on the back and everything. Oh, and if you don't believe me, look, it even works. See? Now, if that doesn't count, then how about this? Now, I do have the battery and the cords. They're just over there in a box, and I didn't feel like getting them out for this demo. And the first game for this is Super Smash Bros. For the 64. Now, obviously, as I just said, this is the Nintendo 64, as it says right there. And this is the Game Boy Color. How many of you knew what these were before I even told you? In fact, like this video if you knew what these were before I told you. My third question comes from Becca Q, and she asks, what is your favorite day of the week? My favorite day of the week would have to be Thursdays, because that's when I have my scout meetings for my troop. Now, for those of you who don't know, I'm in scouting. I am. And, in fact, you guys remember that summer camp that I went to over the summer, and I gave Jess and Tanya their dolls, and I talked about how I wish I could have taken you, but I didn't know who would have been camera shy, or if I could film? That's a Boy Scout camp. In fact, I've worked there for the past 2 years. So, Thursdays would have to be my favorite day because of Scouts, and this month, my birthday is going to be on a Thursday, so I get to have my 2 favorite things on one day. Which is always good. Everyone loves that. So, this is my last question, and this one is from Jess from Livin6 NXTC, and she asks, what are your favorite candies? And I actually have 2 favorites. Twizzlers and peanut M&Ms. In fact, you guys remember that summer camp that I worked at? Well, Jess and Tanya, the girls I gave the dolls to, they both actually worked there. So we all worked together. In fact, that's actually how we met. Anyway, so one year when I was working there, I got bored, so I bought myself Twizzlers and peanut M&Ms, and I made this. Cool, huh? That is a star I made, just out of the blue. I didn't have any plans, I just put some Twizzlers and stuff together. So, what do you think? Cool, huh? Alright, well, that's it for my second Ask Whisper. You guys leave some pretty awesome questions. In fact, I love answering your questions. Half of them I never would have even thought of. So keep the awesome questions coming. In fact, favorite this video if you enjoyed it. And in the comments below, I want you to answer all 4 questions, or come up with your own answers to the all 4 questions that I answered, which were, why are Q's always followed by U's? What's your favorite candy? What's your favorite day of the week? And what was your first video game and console? And then simply leave your own question. So that way I can answer it in my third Ask Whisper, because I do try to get to all the questions. And as always, check out the description box to see everyone that I answered, their links, and to check out Alice's book. And if you haven't, subscribe. Thanks if you did. Bye, guys.